Alright, so today we're getting into a little bit of a political topic here about gun control. So let's talk about it. First, let's see the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment right is a United States constitutional right that protects the right of people to keep and bear arms for purposes like self-defense, of course. But what happens when that same right starts to affect our public safety and the safety of ourselves? As gun violence continues to rise and firearms become increasingly more accessible, we're faced with a critical question. When do we draw the line? When do we take actions to implement sensible gun laws that prioritize the safety of our own communities? And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, this issue isn't about taking away our rights. It's about creating a balanced system that ensures those who own guns are responsible. Which brings us to our first question: why do we have so many shootings in the first place? To be honest, this isn't of one single cause. There's multiple factors that play into this. For an example, widespread gun access, mental health and crisis situations, social isolation and desperation, poverty and crime, cultural factors, weak or inconsistent gun laws, the lack of prevention and enforcement, and suicide. Like I said before, there is no definite answer of what caused so many shootings in the first place. But with the right laws and the right systems in place, we can come up with a healthy and more safer option that protects our Second Amendment, but also protects our community. Which gives us our essential question: how can society balance the right of an individual owning a gun with the right to the community being safe? So, to define both boundaries of their rights, individual right is to protect yourself, protect your property. But a community right at the same time, everyone has the right to live in society where they don't fear getting shot at school, church, or the grocery store. So the key idea, rights aren't absolute. Just like the freedom of speech doesn't include yelling fire in a crowded theater, guns can be limited in ways that protect others. But before we answer this essential question, we have to look at both sides of the political party, the Republican and Democrat. So let's get into it. Democrats tend to support stricter gun laws as it's a way to reduce gun violence, mass shootings, and accidental deaths. They advocate for universal background checks so that every gun buyer, regardless where they purchase a firearm, is screened. They support red flag gun laws, allowing authorities to temporarily take guns from an individual who pose as a threat to themselves or others. Many Democrats who also support banning assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines, arguing that these weapons are too dangerous for civilian use. For Democrats, this focus is on prevention. They believe that right comes with responsibilities, that smart, evidence-based laws can save lives. Republicans, on the other hand, generally emphasize the importance of the Second Amendment and the individual right to bear arms. They argue that new gun laws often do little to stop criminals, who don't follow the laws anyways, and instead make it harder for law-abiding citizens to defend themselves. Many Republicans support increasing mental health services, improving school security, and strictly enforcing existing laws rather than passing new laws. They're often skeptical of the red flag laws and gun bans, warning that such policies could be abused or lead to government overreach. For Republicans, freedom of self-defense are non-negotiable. But now, to give my point of view, I believe that they're both right. In some aspects, of course, but for certain, we do know that there needs to be change. From 2012 all the way to 2022, there's been a 35% increase in gun deaths. About 31 of those have been suicide and 69 of those have been homicide. But to actually talk about these systems and to actually see what laws we can put in place to prevent suicides, to prevent mass shootings, to prevent homicides. So this brings us to our last topic and answering the essential question: how can society balance the right of an individual owning a gun with the right of the community being safe? Well, with some research, I found the answers to our essential question, so let's get into it. So number one, universal background checks. We can require all background checks for all gun sales, including private and gun show sales. This helps prevent people with criminal records or severe mental health issues from buying guns. Number 2. Mental health screenings. Implement mental health evaluations as part of buying the gun process. Ensures that individuals with dangerous behavior issues or historical issues of violence are flagged. Number 3. This one is a little controversial, but it's called the red flag law. Allow family members or law enforcement to petition a court to temporarily remove guns from someone who may pose as a danger to themselves or others. Number 4. Waiting periods. Require a waiting period, example, 3 to 10 days between buying and receiving a firearm. This can reduce impulsive acts of violence or suicide. Number 5. Mandatory gun safety training. Require all gun owners to complete a certified safety course before purchasing or owning a firearm. Promotes responsible gun use and storage. Number 6. Require gun owners to store firearms securely, example, locked and unloaded, to prevent accidents, especially involving children. Number 7. License and registration. Require people to obtain a license similar to a driver's license and register their firearms with authorities. Ensure accountability and traceability. And finally, number 8. National Gun Database. Create a secure, unfined system that tracks firearm ownership and transfer across the states, helping law enforcement investigate crimes and illegals. But at the end of the day, there is only so many laws and systems that we can put in place until it's the responsibility of the firearm carrier to be responsible and be safe with their weapon. Well, ending on that note, thank you for watching this video, and if there's anything you can take away from this video, take it. But I'm your host, Chris Rodriguez, and I will see you in the next video.